Let's escape the prison of greed by embracing meditation. This morning's lesson is drawn from Chenrezig's Easy Dzogchen, inspired by Dzogchen Trul Rinpoche's final meditation manual. So we have a choice: competition and greed, or peace and fulfillment. This isn't some false choice dictated by a celestial entity. It's just how our brain is wired. We can live ruthlessly from our dopamine-oriented reward system, fleeing pain, chasing pleasure, looking for short-term novel things. We could enlist the cooperation of our prefrontal cortex in a very, very clever manner. We might amass power, we might amass wealth. But fulfillment, you cannot bliss your way to fulfillment. Despite the lies and the promises of the dopamine-oriented reward system, we have a secondary reward system. It is oxytocin oriented, and it's all about our relationships, our professional relationships, our personal relationships, be they platonic or be they intimate. The more rapport and the more selflessness describes those relationships, the more we experience fulfillment. It is an evolutionary mechanism that rewards the cooperation necessary for our species to survive. We're not the fastest, we're not the strongest, we don't have sharp claws, we don't have long fangs, but we can cooperate. We can cooperate. Our cooperation can look like packs, or herds, or tribes, or teams, but it's our cooperation that is our greatest asset. Peer-reviewed studies have shown that cooperation in the corporate setting is always more productive than competition. And so if we are about hoarding resources or taking resources, that is antithetical to the cooperation and selflessness that will lead to the payout of fulfillment. Cooperation and generosity are the price of peace and fulfillment, as I've just mentioned. So let's reinforce this by chanting together right now. A life squandered in competition and greed leads not to peace and fulfillment. Better to live in cooperation and generosity. And now the second part. At life's end may this mind shoot out crowns on. And then offer all my stuff to all the beings of nirvana and samsara. So let's shed some light on this. Powa is the transference of consciousness, not done from a place of fear or panic, but from a place of calmness. Death is an inevitability, though its time and manner is chiefly unknown, unless one, of course, takes their own life. And so the simplest form of Powa is described in the Cho material. As one's mind, subtle mind, is ejected up one's central channel, above one's head, out one's Brahman armature, to the space above one's head. Doing so, anytime we bring our energy to our crown, letting go is going to be so much easier. Whether there are multiple lifetimes or not, the experience of death can be frightening and jarring. We are wired to resist death and to avoid death. And when it becomes inevitable, anxiety is natural. However, when we train ourselves to prepare for this eventuality, this unavoidable eventuality, it takes the edge off the anxiety. I'm not going to lie to you and say you'll never feel anxious ever again. But having a task makes it easier. Training ourselves to feel calm in or calmer at the prospect of death doesn't make us suicidal, but it makes us a trifle less neurotic. So in the classic Cho literature, and let me jump over here. So with Cho, we're transforming grasping into generosity. When one of my first tantric teachers really meant well, but he really came at things from a fundamentalist point of view. That's how he was taught. And he once told a story, a dreadful story, about a beautiful woman who perished. And she was so attached to her beauty and her body that she couldn't let go. And thus she took rebirth as one of the worms eating her own cadaver, which is a grisly tale. And the lesson he was intending to give with that gruesome tale was this, that whether or not there are such things as multiple rebirths, it is our best interest to get better and better and better at letting go of our bodies and letting go of our fear of death. Whether you are a naturalist and believe that death is natural and it gives your body a chance, the components of your body a chance to return to the ecosystem in a sustainable way, which is wonderful for other living beings, or you believe metaphysically that you can take another rebirth. Either way, leaving this life with a spirit of generosity helps us to transform the energy of fear and the energy of clinging into something more beneficial. Remember, as I mentioned previously, we are wired to be cooperative. And so in the traditional Cho literature, one rehearses their death. They rehearse their mind in the aspect of a very small syllable, shooting up their central channel, out their aperture, and transforming into an archetype of enlightenment, naked and armed with a chopping knife, whereby they return to their cadaver and chop it up and heap it in a vessel where they purify it and transform it into a blissful substance and then multiply it into an infinite expanse. Thereupon they offer it to all the Buddhas and to all the fully enlightened beings, real or imagined, of nirvana, and all the everyday slobs like you and me in samsara, humans and non-humans, kind and malicious, to those to whom we owe a karmic debt, if there is such a thing, and to those to whom we do not. So the idea, and sadly over the centuries, there has been a lot of people have flavored it and spiced it with fear. But the basic thing is, take that which is inevitable, our death, and use it as an opportunity to practice selfless generosity. And so I would love to tell you that I'm super, super spiritual. I invented this myself, but many, many, many lamas before me have taken these rather complex practices and made them just as simple and as easy and essentialized as possible. So I'm just following that tradition, the tradition of essentializing Poa and essentializing Cho. The most famous essentialization of Poa is found in the Cho practice of the Nyingtig Longchen Nigtig Ngondro. And probably the most concise version of Cho, along with Poa, although cryptic, is found in Dojum Lingpa's Tesar Ngondro. So this is my version of this. I hope you will enjoy it. Together, let's chant again. A life squandered in competition and greed leads not to peace and fulfillment. Better to live in cooperation and generosity. At lives and may this mind shoot. At lives and may this mind shoot out crowns on. And then offer all my stuff to all the beings of nirvana and samsara. So our job is not to visualize. Our job is not to not visualize. Our job, as always, is to play with these words and let it do with our mind what it will. So let us now practice the essence of this. And we practice the essence of this in one concise, albeit cryptic, line that is italicized. Out through crown, share my stuff. As we inhale, we can silently recite this bit in italics and then sort of hand it off to the running back of our subconscious. During our exhalation, we can physically relax as best we can while striving to chant these 12 syllables 4 times per breath. Oh yes, by the way, this brass image reminds us of our own enlightened potential. That we each possess the neurology required to practice and no less master awareness and letting go, love and letting go, as well as bliss and letting go. The couple sporting in tantric union overhead in this circumstance reminds us of the enlightenment, full enlightenment, the mastery of emotion and release together. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. Practice this once every 12 hours or so, and you will feel less and less neurotic about death and greedy about life. I do look forward to chanting with you and meditating with you at length after approximately 30 seconds of housekeeping. This is Lama Jigme Gyatso of the Buddha Joy Meditation School. For more than 30 years, I spent more than 8 hours a day every day studying, practicing, mastering, and reverse engineering the teachings and techniques of each sect of Buddhism so that you would not have to. Welcome to Meditate Like a Jedi, which is made possible due to the generosity of viewers just like you. All right. Dzogchen, the contemporary practice of Dzogchen, encompasses three categories of practice: awareness and letting go, love and letting go, as well as bliss and letting go. The Sanskrit name Avalokiteshvara is translated into Tibetan as Chenre Zig, which could be translated into English as kind gaze. Upon the rigid and foolish path of Devadatta, one might view an entity such as Chenre Zig as someone who is real and deserves to receive offerings and worship and supplication. However, upon the Buddha's path of wisdom and flexibility, and being laid back, we simply view Chenre Zig as an archetype whose iconography reminds us that we already possess the neurology that supports the practice, if not mastery, of awareness and letting go, bliss and letting go, as well as love and letting go. Let us review during this first module, let us take a minute or so to review the mantra's meaning together. Om, I invoke the wish of ending Mani, jewel of love, and the purifying Bami lotus of letting go, supplicating with whom may love and letting go be mastered by all. During this second module, we'll spend about 3 minutes practicing Lama Keno, or calling the teacher as from afar. Upon the path of the Buddha, we view this figuratively as an opportunity to practice energy work that we might effortlessly train in bliss and letting go. Om mani me me yung, 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 om mani me me yung. Together, ensconced within, let's see here. Okay, ensconced within the thoracic region of a spinal cord or sympathetic. Let's try this again. Ensconced within the thoracic region of a spinal cord. Our sympathetic nervous system evolved for neither extreme of mind blinking nor active concentration. Ooh, look at this. This is what us big kids call an editing opportunity. Access during each inhalation, it is optimized to simply notice, vulnerably, passively, viscerally, and randomly, and is symbolized by the nudity of the mindfulness archetype Samanta Badri Karma Mudra. Instead of actively concentrating upon our respiration, we treat it the way a piano student treats the metronome. When we notice inhalation or exhalation, we silently and mentally recite according to the contemplative notation, which in this case would be perceiving this very turbulent play of mind and then relaxing into mind's non-graspable nature. During this third module, and by the way, I think it's more accurate to describe that last module as lasting closer to, let's try 4 minutes. All right, we come to this third module, and we spend the next 4 minutes training or practicing the outer set of preliminary practices together. Those who tread that path of Devadatta use the awareness of stress to frighten folks into an analog of morality. But upon this path of the Buddha, the awareness of other stress fuels for empathy. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. Good morning and welcome to this live stream. The moment you have a specific question about Buddhist chanting, Buddhist meditation, Buddhist philosophy, or their application, please type your question in great detail in the chat window. Those who tread that path of Devadatta use the awareness of causality to frighten folks into a form of moral code. But upon this path of the Buddha, the awareness of interdependence reminds us that her love could lighten others' loads. One moment. So if you've just joined me, to make the most of mantra meditation, during the inhalation, we silently and mentally recite this italicized bit, which is the essentialization of the chant that preceded it. We then sort of hand it off to the Pony Express rider of our self-conscious and turn our attention to our exhalation, where we physically relax as best we can while striving to chant these 12 syllables 4 times per breath. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. Those who tread that path of Devadatta use the awareness of impermanence to promote a fear-driven practice, although upon this path of the Buddha, the awareness of change could fuel all wisdom of letting go. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. Those who tread that path of Devadatta use the awareness of the preciousness of all meditation opportunities to frighten folks into neurotic diligence. But upon this path of the Buddha, we joyfully flow from the effortless effort of love-centered spontaneity. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. So this is a work in progress. So I'm going to make it really, really small. And promptly ignore it. Let us practice mindfulness during our inhalation, as silently and mentally we recite sitting tall, reminding our body to automatically generate a vertical traction between our tush and our head. Let us practice meditation during our exhalation by silently and mentally reciting relaxing. During the next 4 minutes or so, during this fourth module, let us spend 4 minutes practicing the inner set of preliminary practices. In our empathy, may we long to free all beings from the tyranny of hating, craving, and confusion. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. In our pragmatism, may your liberation of all others be fueled by your reliance on the Buddha's example, instructions, and students, described by the metaphor of the three wish-fulfilling jewels. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. Rather than squander our time and energy in defensiveness, how much wiser could it be to learn from all mistakes lessons that flow from the centered spontaneity of mindfulness and meditation? Let's see here. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. A life squandered in competition and greed leads not to peace and fulfillment, better to live in cooperation and generosity. At life's end, may this mind shoot out crowns on, and then offer all my stuff to all the beings of nirvana and samsara. One moment. Together. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. The easiest way to practice mindfulness is to silently and mentally recite notice this during each inhalation, and the easiest way to practice meditation is to silently and mentally recite relaxing during each exhalation. During this fifth module, let us bring Guru Yoga, also known as Lama Naljor, into the path of energy work that we might effortlessly train in bliss and letting go. Om Mani Mimi Yung, 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 Om Mani Mimi Yung. Om Mani Mimi Yung, 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 Om Mani Mimi Yung. The easiest way to train in mindfulness is to silently and mentally recite the demonstrative pronoun this during each inhalation, and the easiest way to practice meditation is to silently and mentally recite the one-syllable verb ease, which functions as a synonym of relax during each exhalation. Having climbed to contemplative cruising altitude, together as a team, let us meditate as transformatively as young Luke Skywalker on Dagobah under the guidance of Yoda. During this sixth module, let us spend 4 minutes or so, actually closer to 5 minutes most likely. During this module, let us bring the experience of the 4 bases of mindfulness into the conventional path of love and letting go, where it is love that is emphasized. If you have just joined us, welcome aboard. The moment you have a specific question about Buddhist chanting, Buddhist meditation, Buddhist philosophy, or how to apply them, please type your question in great detail in the chat window. Together. Those who tread the path of Devadatta squander time and energy with contrivances of visualization, emotion, and belief. Upon this path of the Buddha, we simply recite these words in harmony with our breathing and allow our subconscious to do the heavy lifting. May all minds of all beings now be as peacefully wise as the mind of every law. Imagine Buddha symbolized by a tikle, one syllable zero bija mantra. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. One moment. Just remembered something I wanted to add. May all relationships of all beings now be as joyfully loving as a real or imagined Buddhist communication symbolized by the six-syllable mantra. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. May all bodies of all beings now enjoy the beautiful health seen in Buddhist art, depicting the blissful body of a real or imagined Devi or Yidam archetype of enlightenment such as Chenrezig. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. May all circumstances or lots of all beings now have the good fortune or boon as a Buddha's real or imagined paradise, pure land or Vati. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. The easiest way to practice mindfulness is to silently and mentally recite the demonstrative pronoun this during each inhalation, giving yourselves permission to be vulnerable to whatever comes up, whether it is a perception, emotion, intention, thought, memory, or imagining. The easiest way to practice meditation is to silently and mentally recite the one-syllable verb ease, which functions as a synonym of relax, during each exhalation. Okay, so I'm going to hit button 4 and see what that does to the display. Huh. Okay. During this 7th module, again, we bring the experience of the 4 bases of mindfulness, this time into the ultimate path of love and letting go, where it is letting go that is emphasized. Excuse me. Together. Those who tread the path of Devadatta, caught in the thrall of rigidity, confused metaphors were literal statements. Upon this path of the Buddha, we relax into flexibility, savoring the chants that convert the metaphors into similes. I'm going to change convert that to explain. I think that's less violent. Together. As we inhale, we can notice all minds, perceptions, emotions, intentions, cognitions, recollections, and imaginings quite clearly. Yet as we relax into our exhalation, they could feel it is not graspable of what is a real or imagined bija seed suitable of light. Let's try something here. Now what would happen? Okay, this screen's gonna go nuts for a minute. I will tend to it momentarily. And there we go. Thank you for your patience. As we inhale, we can notice all minds, perceptions, emotions, intentions, cognitions, recollections, and imaginings quite clearly. Yet as we relax into our exhalation, they can feel it is not graspable of what is a real or imagined bija seed suitable of light. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. As we inhale, the interpersonal experience of communication or speech could sound quite resounding. Yet as we relax into our exhalation, it could feel as not graspable as or what is a real or imagined mantra of light. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. As we inhale, all bodies or forms can feel quite sensual. Yet as we relax into our exhalation, they could feel as non-graspable or what is a real or imagined octopoietum of light. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. As we inhale, all circumstances or loss could appear quite vivid. Yet as we relax into our exhalation, they could feel as non-graspable of what is a real or imagined paradise or vati of light. Om mani me me yung, 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 om mani me me yung. During this 8th module, let us bring the illusion of the horizontal duality of us and them into the dance of impermanence and interdependence, known as Madhyamaka's Yoga of Inconceivability. All circumstances or lots could be as impermanent and interdependent as if they could blissfully melt into rainbow light that could absorb into this body or form. Om mani me me yung, 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 om mani me me yung. All forms or bodies could be as impermanent and interdependent as if they could blissfully melt into rainbow light that could absorb into this communication or speech. Om mani me me yung, 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 om mani me me yung. All interpersonal speech could be as impermanent and interdependent as if they could blissfully melt into rainbow light that could absorb into this mind. Om mani me me yung, 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 om mani me me yung. All minds could be as impermanent and interdependent as if they could blissfully melt into rainbow light that could absorb into our vast empty void. Like the illusion of the infinite azure sky on a bright and beautiful cloudless morn, which although tantalizing to the eye could be non-graspable to the hand. Om mani me me yung, 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 om mani me me yung. During this 9th module, let's spend the next 4 minutes bringing the 5 body regions into the path of bliss and letting go. As we relax into our exhalation, whatever lower abdomen we may have noticed during our inhalation could begin to feel as non-graspable as real or imagined, city syllable of green light. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. As we relax into our exhalation, whatever navel we may have noticed during our inhalation could begin to feel as non-graspable as real or imagined. Rana Sambhava Salabha Trama for gold light. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. As we relax into our exhalation, whatever chest we may have noticed during our inhalation could begin to feel as non-graspable as real or imagined. Nakshubasirable hunga blue light. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. As we relax into our exhalation, whatever three we might have noticed during our inhalation could begin to feel as non-graspable as real or imagined. Amitabha syllable of red light. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. As we relax into our exhalation, whatever chronoscope we might have noticed during our inhalation could begin to feel as non-graspable as real or imagined. Vadojana, a little bloom of white light. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. During this 10th module, let us spend the next 4 minutes or so bringing the 5 perceptions into the path of awareness and letting go. As we relax into our exhalation, whatever sight we might have noticed during our inhalation could begin to feel as non-graspable as our vastum divine. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. As we relax into our exhalation, whatever sound we might have noticed during our inhalation could begin to feel as non-graspable as our vastum divine. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. As we relax into our exhalation, whatever scent we might have noticed during our inhalation could begin to feel as non-graspable as our vastum divine. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. As we relax into our exhalation, whatever flavor we might have noticed during our inhalation could begin to feel as non-graspable as our vastum divine. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. As we relax into our exhalation, whatever sensation we might have noticed during our inhalation could begin to feel as non-graspable as our vastum divine. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. During this 11th module, let's spend the next 4 minutes or so bringing the 5 mental poisons into the path of awareness and letting go. As we relax into our exhalation, whatever hate we might have noticed during our inhalation could begin to feel as non-graspable as mirror-like wisdom's clairvoyant. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. As we relax into our exhalation, whatever pride we may have noticed during our inhalation could begin to feel as non-graspable as equalizing wisdom of the primordial voidness. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. As we relax into our exhalation, whatever craving we might have noticed during our inhalation could begin to feel as non-graspable as descending wisdom's bliss void. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. As we relax into our exhalation, whatever jealousy we might have noticed during our inhalation could begin to feel as non-graspable as all-accomplishing wisdom's void intellect. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. As we relax into our exhalation, whatever confusion we might have noticed during our inhalation could begin to feel as non-graspable as all-pervasive wisdom's awareness void. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. During this 12th module, let's spend the next 4 minutes bringing the 5 aggregates into the path of awareness and letting go. As we relax into our exhalation, whatever body or form we might have noticed during our inhalation could begin to feel as non-graspable as a vast empty void. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. As we relax into our exhalation, whatever feeling such as pleasure, pain, or not that we might have noticed during our inhalation could begin to feel as non-graspable as a vast empty void. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. As we relax into our exhalation, whatever appraisal of pleasure or pain's intensity or volume we might have noticed during our inhalation could begin to feel as non-graspable as a vast empty void. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. As we relax into our exhalation, whatever impulse, such as pushing, pulling, or clinging we might have noticed during our inhalation, could begin to feel as non-graspable as a vast empty void. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. As we relax into our exhalation, whatever awareness of perception, emotion, intention, cognition, recollection, or imagination we might have noticed during our inhalation could begin to feel as non-graspable as a vast empty void. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. During this 13th module, let's spend 4 minutes or so bringing the 5 thoughts into the path of awareness and letting go. As we relax into our exhalation, whatever emotion we might have noticed during our inhalation could begin to feel as non-graspable as a vast empty void. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. As we relax into our exhalation, whatever intention we might have noticed during our inhalation could begin to feel as non-graspable as a vast empty void. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. As we relax into our exhalation, whatever cognition we might have noticed during our inhalation could begin to feel as non-graspable as a vast empty void. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. As we relax into our exhalation, whatever recollection we might have noticed during our inhalation could begin to feel as non-graspable as a vast empty void. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. As we relax into our exhalation, whatever imagination we might have noticed during our inhalation could begin to feel as non-graspable as a vast empty void. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. During this 14th module, let's spend about 3 minutes or so transcending the illusion of samsara and nirvana's vertical duality by metaphorically inviting all the real or imagined Buddhas, their paradises, and their denizens to dwell in the 84,000 pores of our skin, thus practicing the body mandala of duality's awareness and non-duality's release. So here's how we make the most out of mantra meditation. During the inhalation, we could silently and mentally recite this italicized bit. Then we sort of hand it off to the Pony Express courier of our subconscious. During our exhalation, we physically relax as best we can, whilst striving to chant these 12 syllables 4 times per breath. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. Om mani mimi yung, om mani mimi yung. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. The simplest way to be passively mindful during our inhalation is to silently and mentally recite the demonstrative pronoun this during each inhalation. And the most effective way to practice meditation's release is to silently and mentally recite the one-syllable verb ease, which functions as a synonym of relax during each exhalation. For the next 3 minutes or so, let us bring the spontaneous play of mind into the path of awareness and letting go. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. Om mani mimi yung, 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 om mani mimi yung. We come to our last silent meditation of the morning, so let's make it count. During our final module, let us seal this practice with a love that wishes for the universal mastery of Buddha's Eightfold Path. May all master letting go and love as well as kind communication, conduct, and calmness. May all master the effortless effort of love-centered spontaneity as well as mindfulness and meditation. If you feel that I have earned it, you could give this live stream a thumbs up. You could even help support this channel. In approximately 10 2/3 hours, I would very much like to return to lead today's evening meditation class and group practice. And if you are as geeky as me, may the Force be with you always.